I'm going to let you in on a dirty little secret that the fitness industry doesn't want you to know about. It's called consistency. And that consistency can't be bottled, marketed, or put into a pill, so they can't make money off of it. Look, I'm not shredded. I'm not an influencer. I'm not going to show you a transformation photo that took 4 hours of dehydration and professional lighting just to make look good. What I am is consistently in shape year round, doing the same boring routine I've done for years. And that consistency is boring, but it works every time. Let me explain this the way it finally made sense to me. Think about baseball. Every player at every level, little league, college, minors, pros, they all have the same two movements that they train for their entire career. You learn how to swing a bat and you learn how to field a ground ball. The same movements, thousands of repetitions for years. Boring. It's not exciting. There's not a viral video out there of some influencer who has a revolutionary way to field a ground ball that somehow unlocks new athletic potential. It's just field the ball, swing the bat, again, again, and again. And it's the repetitions of those boring fundamentals that separates those who make it from those who don't. And the same is with fitness. The squat, the deadlift, the press, the row, the pull-up. These are your ground balls and your swing the bats. Every legitimate result anyone has ever gained in the gym at any level is based on repeating those fundamentals over and over again. Everything else is just noise. Now I want to talk about something that's definitely misleading dads right now, and that's called functional fitness. It's these kettlebell flows, these sandbag movements, these machines and cables that somehow mimic real life movements. Here's what nobody is telling you about those exercises. The influencer doing them, the one that looks ripped with a tight shirt, making every move look effortless, they definitely didn't start with a kettlebell clean and press. They started with a deadlift. And they probably did that deadlift for years, maybe decades. They got enough foundational muscle structure, and then they moved into those accessory movements. They earned those accessory movements. That's not where they started. And that's what's confusing dads today. Now, here's the problem for dads. You get sold on these flashy movements, these revolutionary new patterns to improve your fitness and accelerate your gains. And you as a dad are watching it and thinking, well, that's it. That's the next thing that I need to do. That's the best thing that I've been missing out on my fitness. Well, that's not it. Because the end result is based off of decades of work that that person has put into their body. You're getting sold an accessory movement, and you're a dad who's either just coming off of a long time away from the gym or getting started for the first time. What ends up happening? You get hurt and you start from zero. They keep you in that loop. They sell you a new program. They sell you more time. And that is why it's a trap. Now, do I think that sandbag movements and kettlebell movements have their place? Absolutely. I use them. I have a sandbag and I think it's mimicking carrying my kid and a bag of groceries at the same time. Or my kettlebell swings and different moves that I make with it are mimicking me playing with my son and moving that way. And it's definitely has its place in fitness. But it's only after I feel like my body is strong enough to handle those new movements. The fundamentals are what got me there. Form first, foundation first, boring first. The fancy stuff comes later, and much later. And that's because you've earned it by doing the boring movements for a very long time. It makes it possible. Now here's what I mean practically when I say do boring consistently. Pick a routine, a real one based on fundamental compound movements that you can do every week. When your body starts adapting, and it will, you don't change the routine. Maybe you add some weight, maybe an extra rep, maybe you shorten the rest periods, or change the moves orders entirely. That will shock the body. Remember, they're selling you shocking the body as a method to keep you engaged. The body doesn't need shock. It doesn't need variation. It needs the fundamentals, and it needs them repeatedly. Now, the progress will feel slow, and it is meant to be slow because it's working. That's not a flaw in the system. That's the system working. When it's slow and methodical and consistent, it's working. Fundamental compound movements that are performed for years, decades, those are the moves that build the bodies that are the strongest for the years to come. The ones that have the flashy 30-day transformation, I can see day 1 and 30. Yes, they have a transformation, but those regress very quickly on day 45. I've watched dads chase the exciting programs for years, and nothing that they've ever built has stuck. I've watched other dads do the boring routine week in and week out for years, and their body transformation is amazing. They look unrecognizable. Boring wins every single time. Now I want to make this specific for dads because there's another layer here. You don't have unlimited time. You have 45 minutes at 6 a.m. if you're disciplined about it. You don't have the bandwidth every month to learn a new fitness program, a new movement pattern, or learn new equipment. The cognitive load to constantly change your fitness approach is a real cost for a dad with a full schedule already. A boring routine that you know by heart costs zero mental energy to execute. You walk into your garage every morning at 6 a.m., you already know what you're doing. Every move is automatic. Your mind is free to be present or quiet or focused on whatever the day is going to ask of you. That's not a small thing. For a dad who's already making hundreds of decisions before 9 a.m., removing the fitness decisions from the cognitive load is a genuine quality of life improvement. Boring isn't just effective. For dads specifically, it's efficient. Now I'll tell you something about me, and I think it matters here. I'm not perfect at this. I've experimented, I've chased the new thing, and I've bought into functional fitness more than once. But every time, I come back to the basics and I rebuild from that foundation. And not because the other stuff didn't work at all. Some of it had value. But nothing compounded quite like the boring fundamentals, especially when I committed to them and stopped chasing the shiny new thing. My friends call me built. New people I meet comment on it. I'm not shredded, and I'm not an influencer. I'm just a dad doing the same boring routine that I've done for years. That's the result of boring done consistently. And it's available to every dad who's watching this. The fitness industry always needs you to believe that what you're doing is never enough. That there's always a better movement, a new system, a better supplement. Because the moment you believe that the boring basics are sufficient, that's the moment they lose you as a customer. They are sufficient. They're more than sufficient. Pick your movements, learn them properly, add more weight, and show up every week. That's the whole system. Nothing sold separately. If you're a dad who's been chasing the exciting and not seeing any of the results sticking, stop chasing. Start boring. Subscribe for the full journey. New videos every week.